Yeah, right.
Well, it's every 4 years.
I was and last year with Bob going to mayor, and we had a force to
Yep.
Yeah, we have, we're trying, we have to consult.
Oh, you're just so tired. And I'm gonna get up tomorrow morning, I'm working.
No, that's all right, yeah, basically.
Yeah. I guess we could go down, we could go to, we could put somebody.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yes, there's something
The choices are
I'm not gonna give you mine.
We have to check the absentee balance list of voters, so she can serve one to 3 absentee votes. That's 3 cities. Yeah, because of school levy. Because I'm I got it. But I went to a point just to vote. Which I seem to can actually shoot too. Pros, con. You need to all over the state and not see one.
It's been passed on pretty easily the last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully people actually read it and understand it.
All right, well, good evening, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of Wooster City Council being held this Monday, May 5th, 2025. Tonight's meeting is here in council chambers and is live streamed on YouTube, and it is after 7 p.m. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is scheduled for Monday, May 19th of 2025. Ms. Hamilton, please call those in attendance of council this evening.
Mr. Abernathy. Here. Mr. Gaffey.
Here.
Mr. Huzay.
Here.
Ms. Knappich. Here. Mr. Malta.
Here.
Mr. Myers.
Here.
Ms. Warden. Here.
All right, we have a quorum, and the agenda will remain as presented. At this time, if I'll ask you to join council to citing the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, is there an approval of the minutes from our April 21st council meeting?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Knappich. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Huzai. All in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Mr. Mayor, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President.
What say you?
Well, first of all, I'm going to extend my apologies to council. I'm sucking down a cough drop. The allergy season or tree pollen has not been good to me, so I've been hacking all week, as Amy can attest, and I'm going to try to avoid doing so tonight. I'm going to turn this over to Joel. He's got some updates to provide, but I use my prerogative to skim the really good stuff off the top. And I'll start off by making sure everybody's aware that Ed Fisher is home. We had a nice, I think we shared some video and pictures of that. But, you know, that's been a long ordeal for Matt, his family, and certainly there's ways to go. But we got a notice about 10:30, 11 o'clock Friday morning that they were going to do a drive-through up at the Safety Service Center, and a number of us were able to be there. I think at the time, and Scott might be able to correct us on that, at the time, I don't know that there's any thought there's going to be anything but a drive-through. but he had the ability to get out of the car, talk to some people, see a few things. It didn't last probably 5 minutes, but I think it was probably good for Matt and Beth to be able to see some people other than, he's been living in a very small world for a couple months, and to be able to see people, and I did a lot of good for the people that were able to see him. And I don't know, Scott, anything you want to add?
Yeah, Council President, members of council. I talked to Matt on Friday, the day after he got back, and I quote, he needed that. For him to drive through there, be able just to very briefly get out of the car, you can just interact with the folks that were there. It was awesome. And again, he struggles to find the words to thank everybody, so when I get the opportunity to do it on behalf of the Fisher family and our department, thank you to everybody for your support. He recognized it and appreciated it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. And I guess I'll turn it over to Joel. Joe, we were a little shorthanded last week, but so the update went out earlier today, and I think there's a few highlights from that Joel wants to touch on.
Great, so apologize for not getting it out till today, a little after lunch, so I just wanted to hit a couple highlights from the updates. The transit update, for our city, federally funded citywide, that did go out. Been a lot of interest so far, and we're anticipating proposals on May 12th. Kevin White and I did go meet with Job and Family Services. They also have, a transportation program that we're hoping we'll be able to combine or provide probably within the next year. But so they'll not right away. We want to meet with them, coordinate our RFPs, make sure we would be set up to work together when the time is right. So that was a good meeting. I don't know if you made it down to the Home and Garden Show, but we did have a couple of our two city arborists were down there, Brian Fortune and Dan Yarnell, and they had a booth down there representing the city in urban forestry. So that was good. We did something this year that we hadn't done before. We had an OSU intern for a practicum. So this was a student from Columbus, actually, that came up that we weren't able to pay because it was part of her class. But she did some support for rec admin, transportation team, did some of the city newsletter for us and some other things, and actually did such a good job that her school, OSU, actually gave her an award for what she did for us. So we're hoping that we can continue that. That was a good partnership that we had. Vince Marion's the latest staff member to do a podcast, so hopefully in a week or so that will be posted. So hopefully we'll continue to be able to do those. And there was some talk of and some questions a while back about maybe trying to clarify things on the agenda request form. We've had a couple of different ones floating around there that various managers use. So I know Amy and I and we spent some time, and Andre, working on that. And so hopefully the next council meeting you'll see only one type of agenda request form. Should be very similar, but just trying to clarify some things, make it a little easier to read for both the managers and for council. So we'll see how that goes, get some feedback. So not this time, but next time. That's all I had.
I did want to confirm with council and with the public, John Scavelli's employment as law director for the city ended a week ago Friday. I want to express our appreciation for John's contributions during his time with the city and wish him all the best in his future endeavors. I've begun the process of evaluating the long-term needs of the law department and formalizing a plan for the future, including a selection of a permanent replacement for John. For the time being, the Deputy Director of Law, Andrea Uhler, will be the acting director pursuant to Charter Section 4.02. And Andrea would be here tonight in that place, but it just so happened that she had a conference in Seattle, I think, over the weekend. She's a part of the Ohio State Bar Examiners team, and they have a training session out there. So she is, I think, on her way back flying tonight. My hope is that before we break for the summer, I will be submitting to council my appointment for a permanent replacement in accordance with Charter Section 4.04, and at that point we'll be asking council to approve, or excuse me, to provide their consent to that appointment. If you look at the charter, it's kind of like it's my appointment, but council has ability to approve that or not. As things progress over the next couple months, we will keep you posted on all developments there. With regards to activities, since we last met just a little bit, we did participate in the Right to Read Week at Idaho School. We had a work clog.
Tornado warning.
I'm sorry.
Tornado
sign
warning.
is going on.
Is that a good thing that I couldn't hear it? I don't know. April 22nd, we had a work clog meeting. It was fairly uneventful. A couple things going there, but nothing too traumatic. Went to the Wake County Commissioners meeting on the 23rd. As you know, that Jarrett tax incentive program was through the EASY program with the county. So the approval by this body of that was just one step in that process, and then the county had to take action on it at their next meeting, and that took place. They did approve it. Jonathan did a nice job. That they needed like 10 in the morning, so I attended that. John did a nice job with that presentation. Last week, WDC had their annual meeting. I know there's some others here in the room here that were in attendance. We also met that day with members of the Emblem Club, who provided us with new flags for use both at this building and downtown. Apparently they're in a 2-year cycle on that, so every other year they replace half. They also, that same day, provided the commissioners with the new courthouse flag, and that is up and flying. The Friday, we had our Arbor Day event. Weather cooperated. I know Ms. Warden was there. I don't know that any other council members were, but we had a bunch of staff there. We got it all done in about 45 minutes. I think if the council members and myself hadn't happened to be there, they would have got done in about 30 minutes, but I think it was a good experience for all of us. Nice chance to meet a little bit with May 1st, which I guess was Friday, we did have that future sites meeting. WDC's kind of driving the boat on that discussion. The commissioners were party to it, and we did have a nice opportunity to talk, kind of lay out a framework of our goals. And again, what we're looking to do is trying to, from a countywide perspective, talk about if there are businesses either looking to locate in the county or existing businesses looking to expand in the county, whereas a county and as us as a local community, where are we going to direct them? What are the places? Because you look at the county as a whole and you start looking at topography, land ownership, how it's broken up or not. There are not that many sites available. It's really a limited field when you're looking at that from that perspective. So trying to be proactive looking forward on that. And then Exchange Club had a nice event last Friday, raising money for the fireworks. I know a number of people were there. Friday morning was a NAMI walk to raise funds for that. I know we had people in attendance for that. This coming week, we're doing the Leadership Worcester presentation on Thursday. The next day is the annual Goodwill Breakfast meeting. Same day we have a 911 meeting. That's an annual meeting we have with the County 911 Committee. And then a meeting later that day with Gabe Tudor to talk about the post-election results and how we plan going forward, because that's going to be determinative of a lot of things going on in the city that will affect us, not just the school district, but the city itself. On the 8th, we have a tour of the hospital with Meredith Craig. Friday is the Worcester Community Hospital Board Retreat. And on the 17th, looking real far ahead, I got invited to do an outing with the Ohio National Guard. And so that'd be an interesting thing. I've got to figure out a way to get my grandson invited along, and that way I could be a hero in his eyes, maybe. Looking to tonight's agenda, we've got one item on second reading, 4 new matters. Of those new matters, number 1, 2, and 4 are budgeted. Only item 3 requires 3 readings unless council elects to suspend the rules. We are not requesting that you expedite any of those matters, but as in almost all cases, the managers are always anxious to get going. So if you want to move those forward tonight, I'm sure they'd be appreciative. Last couple things I want to say is last Thursday night, BZA and Planning Commission both dealt with new housing proposals that are consistent with the administration's goal of providing alternatives to the traditional R1 housing districts. BZA considered a proposal for a cluster residential development on the former site of the Laurel Street Mobile Home Park. Planning Commission considered a zoning map amendment and preliminary plan development proposal for Weaver Custom Homes project on Burbank Road. Both of those were approved. These are both considered infill projects, and both will have smaller house sizes and smaller lot sizes than currently required in R1 or RT zoning districts. In addition to making these homes more affordable, this increased housing density will help with our battle for farmland preservation and also be more environmentally friendly. So I provide this just as a little foreshadowing of, these are things that you're going to see again when the residential zoning code amendments finally make their way to council for action, which again, may not even happen until the fall, but that's a discussion we're going to continue to have. Final thing is election day is tomorrow. I'm speaking to the choir here, but for anybody listening or at home, make sure you get out and exercise your right to vote. So with that, Mr. President, I have nothing further to add.
All right, well, thank you very much. With that, we'll move on to petitions and communications from the public, which we have neither this evening. We have, next item is committee reports, public hearings, which we have none of those. We do have a public hearing, I believe, next meeting.
We will have one next meeting.
Okay, so next meeting we will have one, but,
Andres for finance is not until June 2nd. The one we'll have
Gotcha.
next meeting with involves zoning.
oh,
Just got
okay.
info today.
All right, so, very good. Which then moves us on to unfinished business, which is ordinance 2025-08, but Ms. Hamilton, please read it for us.
Ordinance number 2025-08, an ordinance to approve and adopt current replacement pages to the codified ordinances.
Ms. Knappich, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. This is generally a housekeeping matter. This is as we pass legislation throughout the year, we do have to replace the former ordinances with the new ordinances. Realistically, and quite happily, we have 2 that we're looking at this year, as opposed to 20. The first is compliance with lawful order of police officers fleeing, that's an amended ordinance. The other is, they're both traffic code, and then impounding vehicles on public property, also amended, that is part of the traffic code. If no one has any discussions about these very interesting and important changes to our ordinances, I am going to move to suspend the rules.
All right.
Second.
Motion to suspend the rules by Ms. Knappich, second by Mr. Abernathy. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the rule suspension.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Malta.
Yes.
Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey.
Yes.
Okay, rules have been suspended. Ms. Knappich,
Motion to adopt.
motion to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Abernathy. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the adoption.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Malta.
Yes.
Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey.
Yes.
Okay. We've updated our ordinances. Move on to new business. First item, resolution 2025-35. Ms. Hamilton, if you could please read it for us.
Resolution number 2025-35, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to expend additional funds for services from Moody's of Dayton and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Malta, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. This is a budgeted item. However, we have gone over the $75,000 for the rebuild on a high-duty number 4 wastewater treatment plant pump. Mr. Rice is here if there's any specific questions. I told Mr. Fritz that he could take the night off because this was pretty cut and dry. We went over our limit, so. I don't know if anybody has any questions. If we do not, I would motion to suspend the rules.
No, we just need a motion to adopt.
I'm sorry, motion to adopt.
Second.
Second motion to adopt, second by Ms. Knappich. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the adoption.
Mr. Malta.
Yes.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey.
Yes.
Ms. Warden. Yes. Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Next item, Resolution 2025-36, which is also a budgeted item. Ms. Hamilton, if you please read it for us.
Resolution number 2025-36, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to advertise according to law and enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for the Well S4 well house and raw water line project and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Malta, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. So this is for the S4 well that we are currently drilling, and this is for the well house and a water line, raw line to it, to the well house. Again, pretty cut and dry, just putting it out for bid. John is here with us tonight if there's any specific questions. If there are not, I would motion to adopt.
All right, motion to adopt by Mr. Malta. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Warden. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the adoption.
Mr. Malta.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey.
Yes.
Ms. Warden. Yes. Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Okay, resolution is adopted. Next item is Resolution 2025-37. It is a three-reading item. It will be introduced by Ms. Warden, but Ms. Hamilton, if you please read it for us.
Resolution number 2025-37, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission, OPWC, State Capital Improvement and/or Local Transportation Improvement Programs, and to execute contracts as required and allowing for immediate enactment.
Ms. Warden, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So this resolution would give our administration the authorization to apply for and accept up to, hopefully, $500,000 of grant and/or loan funding from Ohio Public Works Commission, which we hope to use for a new sewer separation project, or not a new, but a sewer separation project along North Market Street. The project is estimated to cost approximately $750,000. So it would really be great if some of the costs could be offset by this funding opportunity. The sewer separation project is in the city's 10-year plan and is projected to occur sometime in 2026, I believe Mr. Rice said. I don't think it can hurt to submit this request for funding as soon as possible, so I'm going to motion to suspend the rules.
All right, a motion to suspend the rules by Ms. Warden. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Abernathy. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on suspension of the rules.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey.
Yes.
Mr. Malta.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
All right.
I'll motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Ms. Warden. Is there a
Second.
second by Mr. Myers. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the adoption.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey.
Yes.
Mr. Malta.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Okay, motion is approved. Last resolution, 2025-38, is a budgeted item, also will be introduced by Ms. Warden. Ms. Hamilton, please read it to us.
Resolution number 2025-38, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to advertise according to law and enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for the reconstruction of a portion of Silver Road and construction of a shared use path on Venture Boulevard and allowing for immediate enactment.
Ms. Warden, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This request would allow us to advertise for bids for the reconstruction of Silver Road between Venture Boulevard, Mechanicsburg Road, as well as a shared use path along Venture Boulevard from Clear Creek Park to Silver Road. The project is estimated to cost about $1.175 million, and up to $250,000 of funding could be provided for this project through the ODOT Jobs and Commerce Grant. I'm sorry if I said could be, it will be. It is something that we've already secured. The remainder of the cost will then be funded by TIF dollars. With the development that we have going along Silver Road and Mechanicsburg Road, the need for these improvements is critical. And in order to give the city's engineering department time to obtain and review the bids, I'm going to move to adopt.
All right, motion to adopt by Ms. Warden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Knappich. Is there any discussion? I was disappointed we didn't have any pretty pictures to see all this $1.1 million worth of renovation work.
Next meeting.
Too late next meeting.
Sorry, I only do black and white.
Yeah, well, I'm only half joking. All right, well, we have a motion to, and a second. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the adoption.
Ms. Warden,
Yes.
Ms. Knappich,
Yes.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Malta,
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey,
Yes.
Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that was quick and easy. Next item, we do have an executive session planned. And that executive session, before we, will to be done, or will be done to consider personal matters, and at that point, Ms. Warden, you move to, all right. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Abernathy. Ms. Hamilton?
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey,
Yes.
Mr. Huzay,
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Malta,
Yes.
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Okay. We will move into executive session and hopefully be back shortly.
My 14-year-old was home by himself, and he started texting me and calling me. I can't talk right now. We go through that door and downstairs to the, IT training room, yep. That's the most central place with no windows. Yeah. My husband had our youngest at a Cub Scout meeting, and the teenagers were at home, and my 14-year-old started calling me and texting me in the middle of the meeting. It's kind of reassured to stay in the basement with the dog, and I'm okay.
So we seem to be getting a lot of these wind bursts over the last couple of decades in this
Yeah.
area for some reason.
Yeah, I think it was 2020, we actually went to our cellar at our house, because the tornado came between Medina and Seville, I think, so that was the closest we had up where we're at now, but I was trying to read a children's book, and I grabbed Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, and that was the wrong book. The kids started to panic, and I had to put that away. And field phone calls, text messages from my 14-year-old.
Gotcha.
Let's give her a chance to say something.
She was smart.
All right, so do I have a motion to come out of executive session?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Abernathy, seconded by Mr. Gaffey. Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the coming out of executive session.
Mr. Abernathy.
Yes.
Mr. Gaffey.
Yes.
Mr. Huzay.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Malta.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
All right. Miscellaneous. We had no one sign up for those, so at this point, let's start with Mr. Gaffey this evening. Anything to add?
I actually, aside from just being, very happy at the news of Chief Fisher, coming home and the progress seen there, that's wonderful. And other than that, I don't have anything to add tonight.
All right, thank you. Ms. Warden?
I have nothing to add, thank you.
All right, Mr. Malta?
I would like to thank those that attend and who are viewing us tonight, as always.
All right.
And I think we can welcome Chief Fisher home and Mr. Gaffey's family as well. So,
Absolutely. Mr. Myers?
Nothing further, thank you.
Mr. Huzay?
Yes, just welcome home, Chief Fisher, Captain Rotillo, keep us apprised, and we'll do what we can to help them out. And just encourage everybody to vote tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Deal.
Mr. Abernathy?
I'll just repeat the sentiment. Glad to hear Chief Fisher's back home. Hope his recovery is speedy and gets back up on his feet and back to as normal as possible, as soon as possible. So that's all I have.
Very good. Ms. Knappich?
Nothing that hasn't already been said. Thank you very much.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
All right, folks.
No, I actually drove.
Stay out of the room.
Thank you.
On the way to the car.
There will be. Whatever. There you go.
Generally, getting the seminar that you're taking, so if you do anybody, then